Let's find out more about this game. Huh. Avenge your family by defeating an evil overlord named Shax. Is his last name O'Neill? So we're Dragon and we're fighting Shax, and just that alone sounds like a fantasy novel I tried writing in 6th grade. So this is a bit of a pet peeve of mine. I can understand having a unique name for like the hardest difficulty or the easiest difficulty, but in between that, I mean, just use regular names. I'm a bit worried at the amount of tutorials that I'm seeing before even getting into the game. Take your time, game.
Insolence is punishable by death. I choose hers. Irina! Bastard, You'll do what? The city is ours for the taking. You are nothing but sheep for my slaughter.
It's feeding off the life
Wow.
of the people.
The voices got a lot louder and the text got a lot more
A group bent on chaos.
90s IBM
Cast a
font-esque.
spell over the land.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even going to comment on how cliche that intro sequence was.
What's going on?
In other games, that would take place over the course of like 15 minutes. Here, they just did it in 2.
Your first arcane sigil
Yeah,
is fire.
this frame rate is not great. Yes, Yune, this is after the patch. I made sure that downloaded before I started this up. Ugh. How much did that patch do? Whoa. Movement feels off. Feels like I'm sliding around a lot. That's an awkward way to introduce your... Never mind. Alright, this is one of the handful of games I can think of that will just say, here's a way to get a guaranteed critical hit. I'm not a fan of how it seems to lag or hang every time it needs to load something. Oh, the frame rate is worse up here. And I did think I saw some screen tearing for a moment. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't do these tutorials, because I figured they would just pop up awkwardly in the middle of levels.
There you are.
Who said that?
Wait, why did we lay down like... Also, why did the world turn gray? What is happening?
You're now.
Oh wow, he just ragdolled when I did that. Oh, please tell me this isn't going to take as long as the last loading screen. Fair point, Ninja Star. Why did they put a floor at the bottom of the hole if it was just going to fade out? Also, how come a bunch of times the game has faded out to a flat gray screen when it tried loading certain enemies? These are the mysteries we must unravel in this deep narrative. Almost there, game. There you go. Damn you and your lack of a jump button. As we continue following the hallway that is this game. Well, what was that thing that just popped up for a second? Oh, that was the lieutenant's name popping up. Oh, this is basically just him going over what he's already seen. Well, never mind this. So I assume it's going to teach me about making spells at some point instead of just continually reminding me that I can do that somehow. Okay. I kind of don't know how to feel about this game. Granted, it's still early. Do I really need the hawk to show the path forward? This has been one giant hallway so far.
Well, if you want Rogiro dead, Just point me to him.
My
Ugh.
pleasure.
Ugh. What was her character model doing? Ugh. I don't like the delay on launching the shot. It creates a weird kind of timing where I can easily just end up behind an object and then launch into a wall. Why would the bird's fast attack just hovering in space? Is that one of his abilities? Or was that just errant text? Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'd be careful with that.
I don't see any moving parts. What's it doing?
Why do you think everyone in Dravasar is standing around in a daze? Because this thing creates undead by sucking up their life energy.
So am I supposed to play this almost like a cover shooter? Because I seem to be getting that vibe, but it doesn't seem like the way to go.
Did you see that? My bracers pulled something from those corpses.
This ghost make the game lag
Death
more.
released an energy called. Come, let's continue our search.
Oh, how they freeze in place at the end of the flashback. Oh, wait, is this the way I came? Everything kind of looks the same, so it's hard to tell. That's not what I was aiming for.
Must be smarter than he looks.
If I could just get my hands on him.
Hey, I'm all in favor of burning his face.
I mean, I love her ability to turn 180
Yeah,
degrees
right?
in a split second. Was this really necessary? I was interested in the combat at first, but I think my interest is waning.
Here, your shields are weakened. Let the power revive you.
Thanks. Do I want to know
Wait.
where this came from?
You're showing this now? I've already used like 5 of these. As far as I can tell, my health is a shield, and then another shield, and then another shield. Which is an interesting choice to make.
These echoes are interesting. Oh God. That was intense. I was dead. But here I am.
Well, it's nice to know that death is largely
Well,
inconsequential.
If you're scouting, you don't have to get...
The undead will fall.
But, oh. Okay, that was awkward. He's always blindside me. So it kept saying, try this with your fire spell, which basically tells me they gave me the one spell that I can just use through the entire game. Oh, so I just hit it with fire 3 times and it's done. What an underwhelming mini-boss?
You cannot win against the chosen with Malthus. More will come.
Malthus. Wasn't he some kind of mage back in the day? Black
That was
magic.
very Indiana Jones of you,
Undead,
12th
for
Dragon.
instance.
Ah, that's tough to aim. Oh, that was it? Alright. I hope that's not a running theme for this game. Oh, that was it.
Right through here.
Oh. That looked like a passageway, but I guess I was expecting too much. I realize I'm supposed to probably do this in the heat of battle, but I am really not feeling that. Plus, if they really wanted me to do that, I wouldn't be able to do this. Alright, let's see if we can craft anything. There. He probably doesn't even have a health bar at this point. So let's just get 5 cheap shots in.
You and I have an old debt to settle, Captain.
Your wife? She was an easy kill. You'll be the same.
You're not paying attention.
They're both talking with the same type of voice, and it's bugging me. Anytime video games use skeletons as the primary enemy, you immediately think Cindy and Brenda from Scary Movie. I was never much of a Scary Movie person.
Damn it!
Oh. That was my teammate. Sorry.
Coward Ruggiero. He's gotta be headed for the next reliquary.
Assuming we don't lag out before the next reliquary. This combat could be okay. I don't hate it, but I have problems with it. Although I'm wondering how many goddamn skeletons we're gonna fight before this is over. The answer is yes. Yeah, that's a safe bet. Is he just standing there? This is the Red Steel School of Game Design. Open area, fight enemies. Hallway, checkpoint. Open area, fight enemies. You can tell it's a flashback, because at the time that this happened, they hadn't invented a frame rate above 20.
You want my latest information?
What have you got?
The cult has some kind of magical device thing draining the reliquary.
There you figured it
and there's
out.
a hideous demon creature.
Oh, sure. Yeah, because why would I want to know specifics?
Our protagonist turned into a wise ass really fast. So how much of this game am I going to be able to get away with just using the same 1 or 2 abilities for the same sigil?
With you. Don't worry, you have help.
What is this guy doing?
Wait. I get backup this time?
What purpose does he serve?
Yeah.
Alright, time for a new plan. Oh. My shadow just doesn't want to exist sometimes. I keep getting too close to this thing.
Shut up, Ruggiero! Putting you in the ground. Oh, really?
Wow, they just label it boss. Ugh. Well, at least I know that it's weak to telekinesis, I guess? I think that was supposed to be my takeaway from that. I was losing health a lot faster. Or maybe just don't do the AoE over and over.
My patience!
Ryven, if you could just shut up. Ugh, this is an annoying boss fight. God, its anger meter drops so fast if you don't immediately land another hit. Oh, why did it lock on to the wrong guy? What? Okay, it gave me the trophy for the fight, but did that actually count? Doesn't look like it. No. We gotta do it all over again. I have a feeling it's possible to just really quickly whittle this thing's health down. But god damn, the way the combat works in this does not help. Why not stay super far away? Trying to stay super far away just puts me right next to other enemies. Also, staying super far away means that it'll lock on to everything except the boss. Okay, fucking finally.
Come on, The reliquary's this way.
So these guys are still here. Is the fight actually over or not? Gryphon, if that's your name, I kind of forgot already. Fucking do something. Okay. Why did it give me the end boss text when the boss technically wasn't over yet? You know what? You can find another dragon. Rando. I already forgot the character's name. Roth. That's it.
The Etheria you gathered from Rogero now gives you the ability to...
I've kind of already had it with your shit.
Pools.
Oh my god, your robes!
There are limitations. You may only travel between pools you don't...
There's always a catch, right?
Jeez! Use less starch, dude!
Promised me Shack.
So, how many dragons are we gonna need before the end of this? Would you say 99 dragons? Ah, fuck, it's another loading screen. We're gonna be here a bit. I feel like breaking out solitaire at this rate. I expect this for a fearless game, but not for this. Whoa, what the? Did that come through on stream? That mysterious box that just appeared in the distance? Oh god. I think that shit's struggling to load in.
A bad place for you, stranger.
He says as I'm launching lightning bolts at him. I guess people running around with magic here is just not that uncommon. This map is actually giving me Cursed Mountain vibes. Excellent. You know, I was thinking there would be something hidden in the tunnel. But, apparently rewarding players for exploration was not high on the priority list here. I mean, most of the game is a hallway anyhow, so it would be tough to do that in the first place. Oh, gee. The game really could not handle a long-distance shot resulting in a level up. No? Okay. It is surprisingly difficult to navigate these menus. Because you would think you could just hit right, but then that leads you down.
God, it feels good to know Rogero's dead. Now it's time to ruin Shax's day.
Oh.
I think you actually hate him as much as I do.
I forgot we already killed Rogero.
You be the judge.
Which was the... Rogero was the whole impetus for kicking off this game. And he's already dead. Didn't take long to return to skeleton. Yeah, we had like 3 encounters that did not involve skeletons, and we are already back to this. Does he just have no textures? It's hard to tell because it's low light. But all I can see is a shadow. Oh, these must be those motion detecting lamps. They realize someone was within 30 feet and then they turn on. Oh, what now? I'm just getting annoyed when enemies show up. Oh. It was nice of the trees to pop in for a visit.
Bracing, isn't it? I think my feet are frozen solid.
You complain about your feet being frozen, but your chest is completely exposed. Jeez, it's lagging even on the crafting menu. Oh, I see. Now the living ones and the skeletons are working together. I think that's what's going on. That's an I hate Mondays face. I get the feeling that what I'm doing is not supposed to work. Just shimmying back and forth out in the open.
I ask only one thing of you. Loyalty.
I ask only one thing of you. Stop having your character models twitch erratically. This is just going to be more of the same the rest of the way, isn't it? I have long since gotten over the combat.
I haven't seen a living soul other than the cult.
And he wanted to make Travasser just like this. We have to put him down.
I love how she just... Her role this whole game is to just drop in for 10 seconds, deliver a couple lines of exposition, and then fly away. Or, for that one boss battle, yell crap at you that doesn't really help, and not prevent anything that's going on. There's a 12th Griffin too. We're gonna need another Griffin. You think Roth is just really bad at guiding these guys? And that's why he keeps having to replacing both the dragon and the Griffin?
They're more likely to.
It was nice of him to just not move at all. How many of these wolves have I fought at this point? I think so far the enemy frequency, like, ranking is wolves, assassin people, and then definitely skeletons at the top. I'm just gonna see how long I can just run from everything. Oh, force field. Oh, I see. What? Did you see that? He like glitched into place after that teleport. That barrier is still there. Even though I killed the lieutenant. And the frame rate just gets worse and worse. Oh, the frame rate is somehow getting worse. I was not expecting to get this bored this quickly with the combat.
Disturbing.
Oh, good. Our Battlemage can't swim. Never mind. Just running past. Just passing through, don't mind me. Do you think that there's a point in the game that if you try doing this, the game will just crash? It'll overload from trying to remember the locations of too many enemies?
It's all right.
I swear that one guy T-posed.
Anyone hurt?
Is the console getting hot? Do you want me to check? 1 second, I'll check. It didn't feel like it at first, but the further I got to the back of the console, the more I thought, wow, this is like Switch game running Unreal Engine 4 hot. My PS4 is not happy with me right now. Don't mind me, guys, just passing through. Nope, not fighting you. I'm over it at this point. Man, I should have just done this from the start. Granted, my sigils wouldn't level up, but at this point I really don't care about that. You know, before I was wondering if I was accomplishing anything. And now that I'm not fighting anything and just running through as much of the level as possible, I still don't know if I'm accomplishing anything. If the console is hot and the game is boring, maybe stop. I am going to take your advice. And this wasn't outright terrible. There were some things that you could say are redeeming factors, but on the whole, I lost interest in this pretty fast. It doesn't help that the game does not run well at all, and the combat is pretty shallow. I mean, they tried with the upgrade system and all, but when I can get through the whole game just spamming the same sigil over and over for most of the enemies, doesn't really say a whole lot about your depth. That's a fair point too. This would have worn even worse without the patch. And I'm just trying to go back to the main menu, and we're still hung at a loading screen. There, finally.